Hi everybody, Richard Tromans here again at Artificial Lawyer TV. We're now doing another product walkthrough. This time it's Casesnappy, and to tell us a little bit more about it is the founder, Ayush. Hi Ayush, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And as you're here, as we get to the Q&A at the end, Casesnappy is a very personal project, and we'll get into why that is so. But first of all, let's just look at the product itself. If you could just take it away, and we'll come back later.
Sure. So, as you said, I'm Ayush. I'm the founder and CEO of Casesnappy, and Casesnappy is an early stage startup which uses AI to create summaries of legal judgments and concepts. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly take you through the problems that Casesnappy solves, the areas in which it provides value for students and professionals, and then what I'll do is I'll launch into a quick demo of the product. So the main problem that Casesnappy exists to solve is that traditional legal research methods are very inefficient. As any law student or anyone who's looked at a legal judgment will tell you, they're very long, they can take ages to read, and extracting the relevant information is then another task on top of that. And the issue with existing legal summary sites is that content written by humans is inconsistent, it has human error and a lot of subjective interpretation, which means it can't really be trusted. And the consequence is that legal research is just inefficient, boring, and very frustrating. And that's where Casesnappy comes in. So what Casesnappy does is it combines legal research with natural language processing. And I like to see Casesnappy as the legal research platform that understands GenZ. So what Casesnappy does is it turns legal judgments into structured insights. We break down the facts, the issues, the decision, and the key passages. And while we do this, we ensure accuracy and consistency in our content, which means we can provide summaries of huge amounts of judgments, including recent cases and lesser known cases. And in fact, we provide summaries of every single UK Supreme Court decision to date. And what we'll also do is we'll automatically identify key legal concepts in summaries, and this will become clearer when I go through the demo, which means if there's a concept in a summary that you don't understand, you can simply click on it and we'll break that down for you too. And also to allow for sort of efficient research, we'll also identify some related cases. But there's only so much I can tell you about Casesnappy, and I think it's perhaps best to hear what some of our users think. So here are a couple of testimonials. And it's still under a year since the platform was launched, but it's already trusted by students across more than 70 UK universities. And we've also cultivated partnerships with over 20 university law societies across England and Wales, including Durham, King's College London, and Oxford. And we've also got 10 brilliant brand ambassadors at universities across the country. So a quick shout out to them. And yeah, that's pretty much all from me in terms of presentation, and I can jump into a quick demo of the platform now. And now here's a walkthrough of the platform. So this is the case dashboard on Casesnappy, and what you can do is you can search for a case by keyword. So that could be field of law, that could be relevant aspects of the case, for example, murder or negligence or something like that, or you can search by parties or by citation. So what I'll do is I'll search for, a very well-known legal case, one that every student, probably every lawyer will know, and that's Donahue and Stevenson. So that comes up here. Just click summarize, and what Casesnappy will do is it will break down the judgment instantly for you. You've got some keywords here, and then it will break down the facts, the issues, the decision, the key passages, and also you've got some related cases here, which you can click on and have summarized instantly. So yeah, essentially this is the breakdown of the case, but let's say there's a concept in this summary which I don't understand, and that's the concept of the duty of care. All I do is I click on that, and this takes me to the concept dashboard, which is essentially the other half to the case dashboard of Casesnappy. And you click explain, and it will break down this concept for you. So you can sort of situate it within the case analysis, and you can understand how it relates to that case, how it works, and also you've got some example cases to put it all into context and to show you that concept in action. And essentially, that's Casesnappy. Pretty short, but you know, we try to keep it simple and concise. Search for any case, any concept. And there's also a guarantee that if there's any case you can't find on our platform, you can email us and it will be added within 24 hours if you're on one of the premium plans.
Fantastic. Interesting. Okay, let's leave that there so people can see it. I'll just ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind. So key ones. One, where are you getting this data from?
So all of the data comes from publicly accessible judgments under the Open Government License. So it's all, yeah, all public judgments.
And is it only the UK at the moment?
Yes, it's currently only the UK, but you know, we're hoping to expand to firstly other common law jurisdictions, and then you know, all across the world.
Right. And is it primarily a particular area of law, like it's commercial court work, or is it all areas that are public?
It's all areas of law, and you know, primarily subjects which students will learn because primarily the platform at the moment is aimed at students. So you know, you'll have tort law, constitutional law, criminal law, anything that a student would come across in university studies will have.
Gotcha, makes sense. And the tech basis for this is using GPT-4, and effectively you're applying GPT-4 to this public case law effectively.
Yes, it's something that you know, I'm still a law student, and when I started out, I wondered why no one was doing this, because I thought, you know, there are so many judgments on my reading list. How am I going to read all of these? And also, a lot of the time, I felt I was reading judgments, but I was wasting my time because, you know, I would trawl through information that wasn't relevant just to find one little bit of information which was relevant. And I thought, I wish there was sort of something which just extracted that information for me, and that's what Casesnappy does.
Gotcha. I noticed at the bottom there was a little disclaimer saying this may include inaccuracies, which obviously is uh, entirely possible when you're using an LLM without plenty of guardrails and RAG, or it's been especially refined on a very, very narrow data set, which will remove that risk. How do you handle that? I mean, is there a possibility that Donahue and Stevenson he's just made up? Or is something like that not likely? It's just that it might get something else wrong. Or I mean, what likely may actually be wrong?
So this disclaimer is in place. However, we haven't had a single report from a single user
Mhm.
that they found a single inaccuracy in any of our summaries, and that's because we try to really maximize the amount of context given to the LLM. And what we do is we ensure that the creativity levels of the LLM are kept to a minimum, and what it does is it only uses the information provided to it and nothing else. So actually, that disclaimer is in place because, I mean, the disclaimer has to be in place,
Gotcha.
but no inaccuracies found
So,
in
well,
any
that's
of our
well,
summaries.
that's very good to know. Just one last question. In terms of training, or not necessarily training as such, but developing complex system prompts or refining perhaps producing an intermediary set of data that you're refining yourself to improve results. I mean, are you doing anything like that, or is this just literally straight from GPT-4 straight into this public data set? Or what have you
So
put in between the middle?
there's pretty complex prompt engineering in there to ensure that the structure is right and that it's as concise as possible and that it's sort of tailored to people trying to understand the law.
Mm,
So there's that in place, and then after it comes out, there is a little bit of you know, checking for any sort of structural inaccuracies and formatting and that sort of thing. So there's a little bit before and there's a little bit afterwards.
fascinating, fascinating. And at the moment, it's just yourself, and you're currently looking for seed funding, I understand.
Yes, it's something that I'll be actively seeking as soon as I graduate. So I'm still in my final year, but I will graduate in June and then take this project full time, which I'm very excited for.